Can they overhaul Leicestershire, who are now 59 for 4 in the 8th over? Need 136 from 76. Look like blowing up in there on their big day as well. And Alex Thompson to continue.
It's a strange option for Leeds. He's got 2 men behind points out of Patel, and he keeps having a go at that reverse sweep, and he's not really hit it properly.
Bravado.
You'd understand if he's trying to hit it up and over them, but he looks like he's just trying to help it on its way with 2 men there.
Thompson balls to Ackerman. There's a big swing of that one. Has he got something on it? If he
Inside
has,
edge, he looks like
if he has, it's a technical chance. Yeah, run given, not taken by Brooke Guest. Ackerman moves to 276 for 2. He had a big swing at that one, Ackerman. Pushed through a little bit quicker, I fancy, by Thompson, who's in again now to bowl to Alex Lees, who gets one that does turn and pushes it back to the bowler. No run, 76 for 2 it remains. Required rate 8.3. Run rate at the moment 7.3. Not a major issue for Durham. This one is lifted into the leg side. They might get 2 here. Lewis Rees has run around the ball as he has to with it being a left-hander. Actually, he didn't, did he? That should have been the easy option for him, but they do get back for 2. Lees moves to 46, 78 for 2. One blow away from a half century and comfortably the highest score of the match. The Durham skipper, who waits as Thompson is in around the wicket, and he just lifts that out into the offside. It falls about a yard to the left of David Lloyd. A backward point. Picks up another single to move to 47, 79 for 2. Slight change to the field. Left and right handers out there at the moment, of course. Samit has gone across to extra cover. What he generally feels is a huge gap in the leg side, which he is giving to the right-handed Ackerman. Now there isn't a huge gap because it's been filled by Samit Patel, who's gone back to mid-wicket. In comes Thompson, bowls to Ackerman, who misses that one, goes through to Brooke Guest. It's good bowling from Alex Thompson, this. It's his 3rd over, 1 for 28.
Yeah, he's looking to try and work that into the offside, Colin Ackerman, on the angle from Thompson, but he's just got in that to spin back through the gate, I think. Trying to play against the spin into the offside. It's good bowling.
Bowls again, that one is clipped into the leg side by Ackerman for a single out towards Pat Brown, who remains capless. It's the end of Thompson's 3rd over, 3 overs, 1 for 29, 5 runs from it, 80 for 2. Durham in pursuit of 156 to win the game and potentially give themselves a chance of being hammered by Surrey in September. They're such a good side though, aren't they? Surrey, they are such a good side. Imagine in September they'll have a few players back, and Jason Roy not playing for them at the moment. He's out in America. He could come back and do a bit of damage. Curran, dear oh dear. 80 for 2. Samit's going to bowl his 3rd over. Anyway, good luck to Durham down there in September. 2 overs for 11. Samit has bowled. He's in around the wicket to bowl to Ackerman, who drives, but straight at Wayne Madsen, who gets his body in the way of that one. It crashes into his chest, and there's no run. That run rate's required rate's climbing. In comes Samit, bowls, and back into his crease goes Ackerman. Ball turns away from him, and it's picked up down below us at long off by Aaron Donald as they go through for another single. 81 for 2, 75 to win. 8.5 overs in which to get them. Required rate 8.7. Surely Durham can't blow it from here. Samit bowls. It's a full toss. It's turned into the leg side. In fact, it's done more than been turned into the leg side. It's gone for 4 off the bat of Alex Lees. In between the 2 fielders out there, reasonably straight on the leg side, and Aaron Donald and Pat Brown. I didn't think he barely touched that one.
Full tosses, they don't take much hitting, do they, Fletch? It's very rare from Samit Patel.
I don't think I've ever hit a cricket ball properly in my entire life.
Yeah, you don't see Samit bowl many full tosses there.
No, you don't. He's in again and bowls to Lees, and this time it does turn and he hoiks it into the leg side. Pat Brown races in off the boundary to do the fielding. Seems to love his fielding, Pat Brown. Lees moves to 52. He got to his century, incidentally, off that boundary. 39 deliveries. It was his 8th 4. 86 for 2 now. Durham. Samet is in and bowls to Ackerman, who pushes it into the onside. Samet pushes it round the post. The batters get through for a single. He did well to reach it, to be fair. Struck out a right hand. Couldn't haul it in. And even if he had, I'm not sure he could have got up to throw it. 87 for 2.
Alex Lee's 50 wasn't greeted with much applause, was it? Just snuck under the radar.
I don't even think they announced it. That one turns and Lee's, he won't care. Pushes the ball down the ground for a single to move to 53 at the end of the over. 88 for 2. 8 runs off that one. After 12 overs, Derbyshire were 101 for 5. What's going on, buddy? What's going on?
Well, I think they're just trying to manage the innings a little bit better than Derbyshire did. They set off like a train, but they lost wickets throughout, whereas Durham are going the opposite way. They're trying to manage their risk and be smart about this chase. As you said in the pre-game, they're looking to try and pace this chase, Fletch, and not take too many wickets. And if Lees can bat through, he'll see them home and everybody else can play around him. It looks like the wicket seems to be spinning, and Samet Patel is obviously going to be difficult to play on this spinny wicket. It looks like there's a little bit of uneven bounce as well. There's a few that we've seen keep low, and we saw in the first innings a few that bounced a little bit and took the edge through to the keeper. So it's obviously not the easiest pitch in the world, but I think Durham are managing it a lot better than Derbyshire did at this point.
Alex Thompson's feeling his back as he walks back to his mark, having bowled the first ball of his 4th over. It was punched down the ground for a single. 89 for 2. Scoreboard stopped. There we go. It's caught up and Thompson is in again, and that one is a big appeal for like before we get from Alex Thompson in that familiar style of his, down on one knee. Mohamed Amir warms up at short third man. One last roll of the dice from Samet Patel, possibly. In comes Thompson again, and this one has been launched a mile. That's gone into the car park off Colin Ackerman's bat. That is huge. Bounces in the crowd actually, and then goes over the green fence. Wow, that was a big shot from Ackerman, who more than doubles his score, moves on to 11, 95 for 2. And that was a fairly emphatic shot from Colin Ackerman.
It was, yeah. He's a very fine player of spin, Colin Ackerman. He's very strong on the sweep, the reverse sweep. I think he just had enough of trying to poke and prod Alex Thompson there, and just thought, I'm going to get down on one knee and launch this a mile over deep mid-wicket. It's a long boundary over there. He's cleared it by 40 yards.
Thompson's in. He's rather got this one off a top edge, and it's gone out towards wide long off. Lewis Rees comes around to do the fielding. Ackerman picks up a couple more, moves to 13, 97 for 2.
Yeah, he's almost flat batted that with his bottom hand over extra cover for 2. He didn't quite time it, but he looks to be trying to put the foot down now, Colin Ackerman.
Well, they've got to the position where they probably need to finish it off quite quickly. And he's hit another 6 out towards the mid-wicket boundary over the head of Pat Brown. 6 more. I was just about to say before this over started, they'd called Lewis Rees up to bowl this over, then changed their mind. Lewis Rees is probably more than happy that they changed their mind between them, the senior group, if indeed it is a group. Samet Patel very much in charge of things as far as T20 cricket is concerned, but Alex Thompson's gone for a couple of 6s, and this one has been pushed out towards the cover boundary where it's fielded by Ross Whiteley. 104 for 2 at the end of the over. Oh dear, 16 runs off that Alex Thompson over. 4 overs, 1 for 45, Alex Thompson. After 13 overs, Derbyshire were 108 for 6. And that is the reason that they're in the trouble that they're in at the moment. Looks like Pat Brown has been summoned from the cover boundary to bowl over number 14. That's 1 wicket to his name already. 2 overs, 1 for 11.
The Pavlon still only bowled 1 over.
And he's got to come back.
The overseas who's brought in especially instead of Zach Chappell for this game. He's bowled 1 over for 14 so far. He's going to have to come back at some point.
Yes. When can they risk bringing him back? 104 for 2. Pat Brown needs a hat-trick here. bowling initially to Colin Ackerman. So South African to South African / Dutch / whatever they want to be. Really edged and just past the edge of just past the dive of Brooke Guest. Rapid delivery. Dived away to his right-hand side. Brooke Guest couldn't get the paw on it. It raced away to a very fine third man for 4. Ackerman moves to 24 off 14. 108 for 2 now. Durham. And that required rate is down to 7 and over from here on in. Wasn't too far away from it.
It wasn't, no. It's great effort from Brooke Guest. It was just a bit too far away from him. He went full stretch at it. It's another 4 on to Leicester's total.
Brown in. That one is driven. Around goes an Aaron Donald to do the fielding. The batters get through for a single. 109 for 2. Ackerman moves to 25. Field moves around. Yorkshire hurtling towards defeat against Nottinghamshire. 105 for 5 now. And Leicestershire 79 for 6 on their big day at Edgbaston. And 116 off 61 with 4 wickets left. Could let Durham through the back door here. Or Derbyshire. In goes Pat Brown and bowls to Lees, and doesn't look like getting out really, does he? He looks almost like he's got some kind of invincible shield around him, because when he misses the ball, he does all right. And when the rest of the time he's just patting it around and hitting
he's 55 off 43, isn't he? He's not really taking any major risks. That's absolutely why it looks easier for him, and that's the advantage of batting second after a team who have put on a below par score. He can play without taking any extreme risks and make it look easy, while people around him, like Ackerman, can come in and play the shots and take the risks.
Brown's in. Ackerman pushes it up to mid-on. It's picked up by an Aaron Donald, who chucks it a yard over the stumps as he's diving forward. And they go for another single.
If Leicester lose and Yorkshire lose to Notts and Durham win, did Durham go through?
Net run rate. No, not net run rate. They go straight through. Oh, well, there you go. Start booking those hotels in London.
Net run rate only if Yorkshire win.
Okay. Thank you, Chris. 111 for 2. You were always on the ball, Woody, weren't you? Brown bowls a slower delivery. It's clipped nicely by Leeds up towards wide, long on. Around goes and Aaron Donald doesn't pick it up cleanly. They get through comfortably for 2. Leeds moves to 57, 113 for 2 with 1 ball of the 14th over left to bowl. 43 runs to win Durham. It doesn't look like Derbyshire can do anything to stop them from winning. But Amir has been pushed back to third man on the boundary as the long on becomes a mid-on. Pat Brown goes in to complete his 3rd over. Bowls to Leeds, a slower ball again, pulled into the leg side. Out towards Wayne Madsen out there at square leg. Single is taken, 114, 10 off the over, 114 for 2. They need 42 more runs, Durham. They've got 6 overs in which to get them, which is about 7 and over.
And here is Lewis Rees-Fletch. Still surprised that the Pavlon's still not coming back with 6 overs left. Your overseas man, your main man who you've brought in for this game, doesn't seem to make much sense if you're only going to bowl in 1 over. I'm sure Zach Chappell would have bowled more than 1 over at this stage.
I've written the words "Do Pavlon Chappell" on my hand, so I don't forget to ask Mickey Arthur when we speak to him. I don't think I would forget, but just in case, you never know.
I'll write you a few questions for him, Fletch.
I'm sure you will. Here is Lewis Rees. That looked like the knuckleball because it came out all wrong, and it's down the leg side and it's wide. And Durham pick up another single, 115 for 2. God, 1 alone. Come on, Lewis. I'm sure that was from the crowd.
Someone in the Falcons stand.
Yeah. On his way in again now. Left armour over the wicket. Bowls to Lees, who heaves this into the leg side for 4. Out towards Alex Thompson. No, it's an Aaron Donald. They don't half look similar. And 4 more to the total. Pavlon is still not warming up. I just thought he was warming up there. Who's that down there?
Mohammed Amir is warming up. He's got 1 over left.
1 over of his Derbyshire career to go. How many wickets has he taken in those matches? In comes Lewis Rees, 3. Has pulled. Well, I was going to say pulled. He tried to pull it, but it went straight.
Flat batted straight back at him.
Down towards long off, while Wayne Madsen is waiting. Yeah, Mohammed Amir's bowling figures 0 for 38 against Leicestershire in 4 overs, 2 for 23 against Yorkshire at Chesterfield, 1 for 38 against Birmingham, and 0 for 22 against Worcestershire, so 3 wickets. I don't know what that calls a full toss from Lewis Rees. Almost reaches Pat Brown in the leg side, but not quite. He throws it back and bounces up. Does that hit Brooke Guest in the helmet? Not sure. I think if it
might
did,
have just got a glove on it. I think he's all right.
If it did, he would have to have the mandatory concussion check. 121 for 2, 35 to win. 5 overs and 3 balls. He waits to get them the required rate now down close to 6. And Rees is on his way in again to bowl to Alex Lees, who reaches for one outside the off stump, just plays it off the bottom edge of his bat straight into the ground. And round from behind the stumps comes Brooke Guest to do the fielding.
Yeah, I think it's a strange option to bring Lewis Rees on now. He's more of a defensive style bowler in T20 cricket, who's taking the pace off. You've got De Pavlon, who is more of a attacking threat. He's more of a wicket-taking option in a scenario where Derbyshire are desperate for wickets. You'd have thought he'd be a better option at this stage.
You'd have thought so. That one is lifted down the ground up towards long off, where Wayne Madsen fields on the bounce. Single taken by Lees, who moves to 64. The partnership goes beyond 50 now. 122 for 2, 34 to win. Mohammed Amir continues to warm up. 1 ball of the Lewis Rees over to bowl. Poor old Rees will be remembered largely for the over that he bowled at Northampton this season. That's a slower ball. It's been smashed back down the ground for a 6 by Colin Ackerman. That has gone all the way. No question in my mind that umpire Hassan Adnan is going to signal 6. There we go. And Lewis Rees' over ends in very disappointing style. 128 for 2, 14 from it. It's almost like they've thrown in the towel. Samit is back for his final over. 3 overs for 19, so he's still got the opportunity to bowl 4 overs for 24. .64, waits. Samit bowls to him, and he remains on 64 as he pushes the ball straight back to the Derbyshire skipper. 50 deliveries Alex Lees has faced for his 64. Just 18 for Colin Ackerman, who's on 33 not out at the non-strikers end. Lees picks up more runs here. He's hit that very hard indeed. It's nicely fielded by Aniran Donald, but they get back for a couple. Lees moves to 66, 130 for 2. They need 26 to win now. We've almost been on countdown since the innings started, haven't we, really? Which is hugely, hugely disappointing.
Yeah, no, it's never really been in a contest, has it, so far? It's just always been so easy for Durham without any disruption from Derbyshire. You've just been able to cruise along on the merry way and manage the innings and just tick along without taking too many risks and almost making it look easy.
Swing and a miss from the first delivery of the over. Now they're claiming a catch here. I think they're saying that he was hit into the feet or hit into his foot by Alex Lees. Wayne Madsen is pleading with the square leg umpire Hassan Adnan. David Milnes at the other end is basically standing there with his hands on his hips saying, what on earth are you talking about? You'd have to watch a replay to see.
I thought he might have chopped on at first.
Yeah, the barrels were removed by Guest, but I think they were claiming that
no, it's hit the floor.
Yeah, he chopped into his foot. I didn't think he had. This ball, next ball is played back to Samit. It's been a really good over from Samit. 1 ball to go. He is now going to finish with 4 overs for 20 odd. He's conceded 21 runs so far. He's in and bowls to Lees, who pushes this down the ground.